Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling very festive today, minus the rat's nest on my head, because we're going to do a full review, and not full review, we're going to do eye swatches of the new Phytosurgence Celestial Ceremony eyeshadows. And I have been patiently waiting and biding my time to open and crack into this package. I wanted to catch the excitement and the first impression on camera. I own other shades of the shimmery eyeshadow formula from Phytosurgence, as well as their non-glittery eyeshadow formula. I love them, so I'm not anticipating anything being off about the formula. Therefore, I wanted to do a first impressions, and I wanted to make sure I had my astrology shirt from Farm Rio, this lovely shirt dress, as well as my astral earrings from Celia B, because we're in the full mood today. You know what I mean? So if that sounds good to you, I hope you'll stick around, hang out, and let's get into some swatch and comparisons. Okay, so per usual, I really love the thought and time that goes into the descriptions on the Phytosurgence website. If you're new to my channel, I do have multiple videos on Phytosurgence that I will link down below, including eye and cheek swatches of their products. But today it's all about the Celestial Ceremony collection, and I have my computer in front of me and I just want to read a little bit about the collection and then we'll get into some eye swatches. So, they say that this is inspired by the sparkling skies. The Celestial Ceremony eyeshadow collection is our most shimmery release yet, but done in the Phytosurgence way. A collection of 4 brand new shades and different finishes, including the return of our best-selling shimmer topper formula with the new shade Lunar LightWave. While they are very shimmery, these are not mega sparkly and glittery eyeshadows. They all have that signature Phytosurgence soft focus, twinkling, and glimmering effect. Still very impactful, but not in a metallic or ultra foiled way. I'm going to pause because I agree. None of the eyeshadow formulas that I have from them are a true glitter or a true metallic or foil, but they are just absolutely gorgeous and at home and kind of almost like a worn-in makeup look, but not in a sloppy way. It just looks very effortless and flattering to the eye. So I'm so excited. So it sounds like Lunar LightWave is going to be similar to like Fractal Freesia. And then these other ones might have a little bit different of a finish. So I'm excited to get into that. It says the purpose of these, it's a cream eyeshadow with suspended shimmer and a budge and crease resistant formula. Fully agree. All of these eyeshadow products from Phytosurgence are budge and crease proof. From a texture standpoint, it's a stiff cream formula that picks up and deposits in extremely thin layers with a decent amount of working time before fully drying down. Again, fully agree with this statement. I will start with a light layer and then we'll build on top of it for the swatches. And then suggested tools, fingers are your best friends here for the least amount of fallout. 100% agree. All of Phytosurgence's products are really effective with the finger outside of the Spectral Shine, which I recommend a powder puff now over a brush, but I have long nails. I've shown my trick before for these potted eyeshadows. We'll get into that again. And before I get in any further, I have the shade descriptions up. I will read through those when we get there. So without further ado, let's do some eye swatching. All right, we're gonna work lightest to darkest just out of the pot, which I'll be honest, I don't know how sheer, etc. these are going to be, and that starts us off with Lunar LightWave. So all I have on my face right now is my usual skin prep and the Rose Ink Concealer to cover redness, and I also set my eyes with that because that's what I do on a daily basis. My trick, if you have long nails, is put your nail against the edge and twist with your other hand that's holding the pot, and you'll be able to pick up shadow. And I went really hard there. You can see the tip of my finger, so I'm just gonna tap that back into the pot, and I'm gonna do a hand swatch first, just to get kind of the excess off, because I am gonna start with a light layer. And looking at this, it is so pretty. Very peachy base. There's a nice hand swatch. Very peachy base. And I'm getting definitely some silver, and it looks like color. Let's get this on the eye and then we'll break down the color a little bit more. So just a light layer. I'll zoom in here. And this is what's going to be the most similar to Fractal Freesia in that formula from the other more shimmery, glittery eyeshadows. Sorry, in true Rachel fashion, I'm a hot mess today. So I'm scooting in and getting a closer mirror so I can really show you and see myself. So there's a light layer. It is so, the word that comes to mind is dazzly in the light, if you can see that. I hope my camera's picking it up. It is so pretty. I get mostly kind of like silver, gold, beige, but there's almost like a pink and a violet to it in the shimmers. So let's go ahead and build that up a little bit. Oh yeah, I picked up a lot. Good, I hope that you can see this. More peachy base. So I picked up quite a lot on my finger, so I'm just using the other one to tap it out. These are the least messy glitter formula that I've ever used. But this one is definitely, so there you can start to see just a nice peachy base. You probably could continue to build that up and get more of that peach coming through. But I would recommend going in light layers and building up to the point that you like it. But see what I mean by ethereal? It's like a wet look, ethereal. So pretty. There's so many, I think, different shades of shimmer in this that it's just like you get a lot of different effects from it. I'm definitely picking up, I think, pink, silver, gold, maybe something blue or violet in that family. But that is Lunar LightWave. And it is absolutely stunning. Like, how am I going to choose what to keep on my face at the end of this? I don't know. All right, moving into Starlet Symphony. So it looks like this in the pan. It looks like it's more neutral, almost more champagne beige. And yeah, this one right away feels slightly firmer than Lunar LightWave. I'm not picking up as much on my hand, and you'll see almost like Lunar LightWave has a bit more base pigment in it. And definitely more glittery of an effect. You can kind of see in the reflect there. But this one is very beautiful. I'm going to build that swatch on the back of my hand. Oh, wait. So built up, you get a little bit more impact, but still not quite as glittery again as Lunar LightWave. I'm going to go ahead and apply a thin layer on my eye here. Oh, get out. I ran out. I'm going to do just a little stamp here on the outer corner. Oh, that's pretty. So you can kind of see the difference here. I'm going to build it up, but let's do a very, very pretty. Again, just like super, I know why they called these celestial. They're very like celestial and ethereal. Like there's definitely, you can see the glitter in them. I'm going to build this up. But it's almost like when you build them up, it's a cross between a foil and a glitter and a shimmer. It's almost like all three's in there, but look at that. Oh, I thought Lunar LightWave was going to be a favorite, but you can see now how peachy the base is in Lunar LightWave compared to kind of this like neutral taupe of Starlet Symphony. And again, I feel like there's multicolors in the glitter with just glancing at it. You definitely get something on the cool side, but also that silver and gold. But look at that. Can we build it more? I could just keep building these in light layers. And I saw someone compared these to the Rowan shadows. Now, I have owned all of the palettes from Rowan. I don't think these are similar at all. I think that, first of all, these dry down and they don't crease. Rowan's, it never dries down and creases. Do I think you could get a similar effect? Yes, but Rowan has a lot of multi-dimensional sizes and shapes of the shimmer, whereas this, the glitter is all the same, the shimmer is all the same, but the way that they lay down and the texture of it is what gives you such a different look than just a straight up glittery eyeshadow. Because it's suspended, it almost creates different levels with the eye when you build it up, and it's better than Rowan, in my humble opinion. So we have Lunar LightWave and Starlet Symphony, and I'm gonna go wipe these off and we'll come back with the last two shades. Okay, now I did use micellar water and a microfiber because I don't want to completely wash my face, so I do have residual glitter, but I did get the majority of it off. Come for me if you want. I don't care. Moving on. The next one we'll get into is Astral Atmosphere, which this is another one that looks so stunning. So next to Starlight Symphony, you can tell this one has a little bit more red or chocolate brown to it, like a red brown. This one feels like the same formula and finish as Astral Symphony. And I will say the last two kind of feel like a hybrid between the original eyeshadow formula, which is just kind of shimmery, and the more kind of glitter toppers, like they had a baby. All right, we'll start with a light layer. These nails, sometimes even with that trick, it's a challenge, you know, to get it on. Okay. And I have to really restrain myself doing a light layer at first because all I want to do is just keep packing it on. So there you go. You can see much warmer of a base, like a copper. So it definitely has some of that like orangey red to it as it blends out. Not quite a chocolate, there's not that depth there, but like a rusty copper. I really hope you cannot hear the yard work, but it's that season, y'all. And now we're gonna build that up. And the shimmer in this, I'm so curious to read these descriptions because I'm having trouble putting my finger on the shimmer that I see. There's definitely like, I don't want to say white, it's not white, but like silver and gold, like a neutral glitter. But then there's like pops or shades of color. So there it is, built up a little bit more. Again, a little bit more of that red copper in there, and that's really going to make green hazel eyes pop. So I always appreciate that. Then moving into the last shade here, we have Crystal Constellation. And this is a deeper brown, but as I'm swatching it, it looks very neutral. I love the neutrals that they do. So you can kind of see peachy, kind of a neutral taupe, maybe a little tiny hint of warmth. Then we have a very warm kind of copper shade, and then we're into this like neutral brown. I'm not really picking up a lot of coolness or a lot of warmth, but we'll see how that looks on the eye. So let's go in with a light layer first. Oh wow. Okay, with the little bit darker of a base that this one has, you can kind of see all the different colors of the glitter. So that's a very light layer. And these might start to look patchy, but that is because I'm not doing a great job applying because of my fingernails, but also because the light's going to hit it a little differently. I have pretty good lighting today, but I'm not a master. So I'm going to build that one up. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, I had a feeling because I'm in that like brown smoky eye era of my life that this one would be one of my favorites, but I don't think I was expecting to love it this much. And I'm just gonna keep kind of like building. Almost to how I would like wear it on its own. I would probably use a brush because we left my nails so long last time. I'm struggling, really struggling. I am gonna grab a brush just to help me out so I can get the true vision of this one, because I think this is gonna be the one that I keep on my face today. Just gonna cut the edge a little bit there. All right, so there it is built up. Again, you can really see the difference in warmth between these two. I can't get over the effect of this one. So we have Crystal Constellation, yeah, and Astral Atmosphere. I like Astral Atmosphere a lot more than I thought, but Crystal Constellation is just that girl. But I also love Starlet Symphony. Okay, what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna clean up my face, finish my makeup. We'll come back and we'll talk arm swatches, the descriptions on the website, and then we'll compare to my other eyeshadows. And we're back. I will leave the details of the rest of my face of makeup down below. I'm feeling pretty cute though. Feeling really cute. So before I get too far in, I forgot to mention these are similar to the other eyeshadows that we'll get to in just a second. All are $21 Canadian, which I think, well, I have my computer, let's just look it up. It's probably like, I think it was like 17, 15.54 US dollars. It's just insane to me. Anyways, let's go through their shade descriptions and then we'll start some comparisons. So up top we have the Lunar LightWave, which is a soft translucent peach base with pink, white, and a whisper of blue shimmer. Its sibling is a Fractal Freesia, which is more champagne and gold leaning. Yes, Fractal Freesia is much, much more neutral, even in terms of glitter. I love that. So I'm definitely, I mentioned that I was getting something blue, so they're saying pink, white, and blue. I definitely get the white shimmer. I'm glad I was right about that. I was getting really nervous about my naked eye assumptions here. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm so happy to have it. We'll do a comparison directly to Fractal Freesia in just a minute. Then next up we have Starlet Symphony, which is what I decided to put on my eyes. This is 2 layers of it. I'll get a close-up in just a second. But this is a slightly translucent milky beige pearl with crystalline shimmer. Could not agree more. Crystalline is very apt because I pick up more colors in this shimmer than I do with the Lunar LightWave, and I'm so curious about that, but it is much more subtle. And then up third, we have Astral Atmosphere, which is a blushed copper. Oops, sorry, here. A blushed copper with crystalline shimmer. Okay, I thought I was losing it because the shimmer looks very cohesive in some of these. It is, again, almost, it's not quite a rainbow, but you pick up almost a rainbow of colors. And that's part of what makes it so celestial to me. And then lastly, we have Crystal Constellation, a neutral mid-depth chocolate brown with crystalline shimmer. So this is not like a red chocolate. It's a very kind of milky, neutral chocolate. And again, shimmer in that is the same as the top 2. So really the difference in these being the base pigment. I can't get over this one, is what I have on my eyes. So that said, I'll give you a close-up on my eyes, and then I'm going to pick a few of the other eyeshadows to swatch as comparisons so you can determine if you need them. I need these, but we could be different. Also, before we jump around too much, these are already dry on my hand. So if you see this, you might get some glitter rubbing off, but they're not budging. Not even smudging. And that's why these are way better than Rowan ever dreamt of being. A lot of brands, to be honest. Okay, so I've done some swatching. So we have the original swatches from the new drop. I added Wild Oak down here at the very bottom just to show you kind of a comparison. The other non-glittery eyeshadows that I have from them are very kind of cool toned, so they're not going to be super helpful. But you can see, whereas this has like a golden amber almost to it, this Wild Oak, in comparison, these are relatively neutral outside of that coppery shade Astral Atmosphere. But then we're going to do this a couple of ways. I did swatch Fractal Freesia just so you could get it side by side to Lunar LightWave up top. You can see really built up Fractal Freesia has a lot more gold to it, and it is down the middle of silver and gold shimmer, just like kind of a beige gold, if you will. It's not icy silver. And then with Lunar LightWave, a much lighter base, not lighter in a sense of dark to light, but in terms of heaviness, it's not as pigmented and it is much more peachy. And again, you get a much different kind of color variance in the shimmer of Lunar LightWave. Very, very ethereal. Whereas Fractal Freesia, which I have again down here, is very kind of like gold glitter that can be built up. So then I have here Defiant Dahlia, Orchid Overload, and Wild Wisteria. RIP these two, you can no longer get them unless he does another limited release drop. I feel like he should do it every so often, like when these might dry out or something, do you know what I mean? Anyway, you can see next to each other the new shimmers outside of that Lunar LightWave, which is on top. So the middle three swatches on this arm, they're a lot more subdued in the shimmer, but they still do give shimmer and glitter. These are much heavier on the glitter side of things. And you can also see the difference in tones. These are a lot, these new drops are a lot kind of lighter and more muted. It's almost in line with me to what they did with the Toasted Blush collection, where they came in a lot more muted, but still very special in their own right. So if you are someone that has more muted features, this is another drop that I think you can't miss. Although I have very, very deep love for all four of the original glitter toppers, like they're all outstanding. I mean, Wild Wisteria, I can never get over that. And Orchid Overload is going to be, honestly, the glitter in this is a little bit closer to some of the shimmer because it is multifaceted. You get kind of like purple, pink, and white in there. But again, next to Lunar LightWave, you can see it's a much smoother finish even, but that base is, it's almost a little rose goldy in Orchid Overload, whereas it's like a true kind of golden peach in Lunar LightWave. I think just from these swatches you can tell there's definitely room in your collection because the textures are going to be different from the old to the new. And when I say ethereal, it's very kind of like lit within, twinkly, very, I mean, nail on the head with Celestial Ceremony. I think, honestly, my favorite drops are probably in order the Toasted Blushes, #1, because as we've discussed a couple times, that took care of a dupe I was looking for a long time. If you're interested, check out my video about it. And then this would be a close second because these are much more my speed. I do love the original non-shimmery shades, but I love a little twinkle. I love a little sparkle. And while these are absolutely beautiful, these are more kind of like statement eyes for me, whereas these are going to get so much more use for everyday, just the fantasy, the everyday, I'm fabulous, I'm celestial fantasy. Knocked it out of the park. I am so, so happy. I cannot believe it took me this long, and now you know why, because I wanted to give you the full celestial fantasy. Even my button is a star. I mean, I wanted to give it to you the way I had in my head envisioned. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know down below. The formula, while it is different, Nothing is telling me that it's not going to perform the same, if not better. Because these middle three don't have as much glitter, they're going to be even smoother and you're going to get even less kind of smudging around. Not smudging around, but flaking down from the eye. I don't have trouble with these flaking, even the kind of flakier formula with more glitter. These are going to be phenomenal and a go-to for me every day. I mean, I can't stop looking at this one, and it's what's on my eye, and it just adds that little something extra. And when you build it up, you kind of get more of that foiled effect. And it's just, I love them so much. I'm so happy to have them. But yeah, hope you're having a good one. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye.